Hello, hello, it's your girl Judith here. So happy and glad to be able to get you, to meet you, and connect again with you. We are on week 8, guys. 8. Wow. So it's like 2 months that we've been taking a pause to think and reflect on leadership. I'm curious, what have you noticed in you, in your team? What are the things you're noticing as you take action based on what you hear from this series? I would really like to hear from you. So, for the few people connected, thank you for being there. I really want to start by expressing my gratitude. You're here. It shows your commitment. It shows that you're serious about growing your leadership lead. And I'm glad and grateful for you. It also shows your discipline. We talked at some point that discipline is an important part of leadership. Still, I would like to hear from you. How is the journey going on? We have like just 4 weeks left. So we're more than halfway through. What has changed for you? What have you noticed with you? Have you received any comments from people from your team, from people around you on how you're showing up as a leader? Come and share and let's get encourage each other. On the menu today, we'll be talking about one thing, an extra plus of leadership, which is attitude, the attitude of the leader. What is attitude? What makes that even important in leadership? And what impact of attitude on your results as a leader, on the results of the team and the organization? These are some of the questions we'll be answering in the live session today. And if you have any question you would like to have answered, particularly tailored to your own leadership situation, this is the place and time. Don't hesitate. I'm grateful for all the comments, for all the like, for all the sharing and the clipping. It will be even better if you come, Judy. This is what is happening with my team. I have this specific question. That's exactly the reason why I choose to do the series live. So your questions could be answered. Hey, today we are talking attitude, which is part of what is taught in terms of leadership executive presence. So sit comfortable. We will not only learn what is attitude, the impact it has on you as a leader, the impact it has on your team, then your results, and concretely what you could do. I'm all about taking action. There are so many learning books, theories, and approach of leadership out there. What really matters to me is, what does that mean to you? um what's your reality regarding the specific thing we will talk about, and what is one thing, one little action that you want to take to move, to grow, to do something different so that you grow with your leadership. So we'll also have some time of reflection to turn what you will learn about attitude, what it will mean for you, and what you can do right after this call for people around you to feel the difference it takes. Before going there, I feel like asking you, we did something very important last week. So I feel like asking you, what did you do for the development of one person last week? Last week, it was all about investing in people. We talked about the importance, like the greatest way for a leader to amplify their impact is investing in developing others. What did you do last week? If you didn't do watch the video, please go and have a look. It was good. There was so much good stuff there. Because we stop and reflect on what makes it even important to develop on others. Hey, as a leader, if there's a philosophy, a value, an identity, a culture, it trickle down to people you're developing. And imagine if at their own turn they'd give it to people they're developing. 50 years after you've gone, the value, the culture, the leadership, I don't know, the identity, the specific leadership zest that you had, you will pass it down 50 years after. That's one value of developing people. Developing people will also allow you to amplify the impact, like you are in a place, in a team, in an organization. But if you're developing somewhere, say in Europe or in Asia, they are making impact there because you take the time to invest, to develop, to hear, to take their hand on the path you have been. That's another reason why it's important, and there's great value it amplifies your impact. Now you're not just impactful in North America as I am, in Africa, Asia. Wow, that's cool, I think. And then another reason why really investing in developing people, it's a great thing, is the fact that as you do that, you become multiplier. I gave the example. If say each year you do what John recommends, at least 3 people, you learn from a mentor, you share your journey with people at the same level, and then you invest in someone. Imagine you have just even one person you are investing in. Next year, each of you takes another one. You'll not be two, but you'll be 4 people growing. And then from four, you'll be eight, and then 16. And then you see it's exponential. It's not one plus one. And that's why we keep saying you want to have a bigger impact, invest in developing people. And then the one question we asked ourselves was, okay, how do you do that? How do you, which is a common question that I hear, I get a lot in my work as a leadership coach and trainer. How do you do that? We propose 3 ways of developing people. Number one, sharing resources. How do you intentionally help someone to develop? Sometimes people will say, well, I don't know a lot, like this person is brilliant. If they could communicate, they will be really outstanding as leader, but communication is not my forte. Yeah, are there books, are there trainings, are there mentor? So the key thing is more your intention and doing something with that intention. If you see you're working with someone who could explode in a specific way, specific area, um even if you don't have that, find them a mentor. That will be you developing them. That will be you getting intentional, helping to bring out this thing that you have seen in them. And it gives me the opportunity to talk a bit about giving feedback, which is point number two. How you develop people, you give feedback on what people have, what they are good at. Hey, imagine you working for a leader who tells you, wow, Judy, your ability to motivate people. 1, 2, 3 people tell you that. It will help bring to awareness for you that, oh, maybe this is something like more people are giving me this feedback. I better do something. So imagine if you are intentional about this and everyone working for you on your team, you are kind of a mirror. You're brilliant. Your ability to keep the team together. Oh my God, we're lucky to have you, your ability to create processes. This is good feedback that will help people dare to develop and grow those strengths and quality that you've seen in them. So you give feedback to people you're developing on what they're doing well, but you also give constructive feedback if you think they are brilliant engineer, and if there were just more people, if they connected better, if they collaborated better, they'll have even a better impact. You also give them constructive feedback. And why not a resource, a book, a mentor? And then the third thing we said you could use to actually develop people was coaching. I love coaching. I think you know that. Coaching is like you put yourself, you use the power of questions to help the person you're developing find their own answers. I so love the power of coaching. Why? Because coaching has an empowerment aspect to it. Um, you're not coming from a place of prescription, do A, B, C. Coaching people help them develop because you sort of ask them questions that cause them to reflect. And as they reflect, they understand what's going on with them. They understand, they come up with their own, it comes from them. And research shows that when it comes from them, what comes from us, we tend to apply, we tend to follow through, we tend to, because it's like our thing, it's our solution. It's not Judy's recipe or Judy's whatever. I think I want to, it's me, it's my project. And that's something that coaching allows you to do. So if you're helping a direct report, I don't know, grow their ability to present or to influence, and then you can do, okay, give a book, a training, offer a mentor, they'll learn something. Um, But asking them question, what do you think you need? What do you want to do? Makes it practical, makes them reflect on what is actually going on. Sometimes it's not a skill thing, it could be a deeper thing, an unconscious thing. And the question will get the person to figure out what is actually going on. And that's the power of coaching. It's not for no reason that more and more organizations are embracing coaching, because really creating the space and offering great question, open question that will cause the person you're developing to reflect and think. In general, they come up with even better answer, better recipe, better solutions than you would have thought, and it will come from them, so they will feel empowered to carry it through. Judith Zip, this is not a series about coaching. It's more a series about leadership. So but you can see the passion. I can talk about coaching for years. So let's come back to the topic of today, which is attitude. What is attitude? What's the impact? What makes that even important in leadership development? So we will run with the topic of today. Is still our series. This year is all about activating, bringing out the super leader in you. And we are 8 week into this, and I really would like to hear from you. And yeah, general thing, but where are my slides? Please come here. Oh my God, 10 minutes have passed. Judith, you better move ahead. Yeah, so this week the focus is on attitude, and the key learnings from today's sessions are essentially um a positive attitude. It's a leader greatest asset. What is positive attitude? And I added, especially when faced with challenges. Yeah, when everything is cool and good, it's easy for us to, oh, all is well, all is well. But when there is challenge, transformation, change, scissors, reorg, maybe stakeholders or whatever could be going on in the organization. We know, I don't know how the reality is for you, but there's a lot of uncertainty in markets, a lot of uncertainty that may affect the budget in your organization. There's a lot of ambiguity, a lot of things we don't master. They are part of the day-to-day, of current day-to-day. And when this uncertainty or change or transformation affect your team and whatever you have to do, how are you being? How are you responding? What attitude do you have? This is what we'll be talking about today. So, because how you show up, it will affect the team. It will affect the team. You've seen that if you watch movies. Um, what happens when I don't know, there's war, for example, and then in those movies there will be some kind of war room, and observe how people react when they feel that the president is stressed, or even in an organization things are really bad, they don't have money, maybe they're in stock market, they're in newspaper, this pressure, all of that. People look at leadership, and in general, when the leadership would keep a positive poise in the midst of crisis, it will help the team to also stay grounded. So it brings me directly to be talking about what makes attitude so relevant and important in leadership development. It's important, your attitude as a leader. Why? Because it influences your team. As simple like that. Your attitude will have an impact on the team morale and performance. It's a no-brainer. And teams have the tendency to follow leaders who are inspiring and who provide solutions. And especially when there are difficulties, a positive attitude will keep the team grounded. And in general, like positive, optimistic leader turn problems into opportunity. I'll come back to each of them. Your attitude will influence the morale. If changes happening, they are cut. for example, and I have seen this a lot in coaching. Oh, this transformation, there's this happening, blah blah blah. And if the leader starts to talk about, Judith, I may lose my job, like I don't know what, it keeps happening, and I can hear the language of fear. If the leader is talking fear, there's great chance the team is feeling the fear, and as a consequence, they'll panic. They'll panic. So, but if there's this happening, and then the person comes in coaching, what change and transformation happens now? Okay, I want to focus on keeping the team grounded, helping. Do you see the difference in the language, which is like a key moment, learning moment here? To sort of diagnose what is going on with you, just listen to how you talk, listen to what can be seen in your correspondence. There's so much that you can notice if you just stop and listen. um the example I just gave, the leader who comes to coaching and okay, this change, this transformation, I don't know, finger pointing, accusing leadership. Not very positive. And then they continue, I may lose clear. This is fear. Um, so the leader is not in a good place. He's operating from a place of fear. And we know fear, constriction, flee, freeze, or like you need to protect yourself. When you talk like that, your brain hears that, oh my God, Judith is in danger. So we better do something to protect her. Meanwhile, the leader who says, well, yeah, there's transformation going on. In general, change comes with its lots of possibilities. And I wonder, like, I would like to use the session to find ways on how I can best prepare the team. Did you hear fear here? No. They did acknowledge this change. There were things that will move around, but they stay in the posture of what is possible. What does this change bring? This is different mindset, and it shows in the way they talk. So in couple minutes, we'll give you some tools on how to catch how you are showing up. But to start with, it is important to really watch your attitude, because your attitude will influence the team morale, and people tend to follow leaders that are inspiring. And I also sometimes like to talk about the concept of perfume. Um, Whether you're leading a team or no, just as your being, wherever you are, you leave a perfume, just like the real natural perfume. In your family, in your gathering, in your church, in your non for profit, how do you show up? Are you the one who will be pointing, this project may not work because, well, yeah, our family has always been like that? Are you the one who tends to pick and talk and amplify what is not going on well? That could sound like a negative person. And is this the perfume? Is this the attitude? Is this the impact you want to have in your environment? Whether you're aware of it or no, you have a perfume. It could be positive or negative or just neutral, but you have a perfume. We want in this series for you to become aware and sort of observe, take time to reflect on how you are showing up so that you can choose the perfume you want to have. And you know and become aware of your perfume, as I said a couple minutes ago. Just listen to yourself. You may also ask feedback to people who are around you and ask them what perception your talking gives. If it's in team, you can also ask in the family. As I say, it's good to know in general people will follow a leader, someone who is inspiring. If your attitude inspires people, they'll follow you, and that's leadership. You know, which leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So how is your attitude, your perfume, affecting people? Is it inspiring? Is your attitude causing people to want to follow you, to go the extra mile, to keep going and pushing? Or at the contrary, scaring them away or making them feel like we're in trouble, instilling fear? This is so important, guys. And that's why some people said the leader set the temperature of the team. Yeah, the leader set the temperature of the team. If you are a leader who speaks life, learning, growth, possibility. It will show on your team before the end. Maybe I don't know if I can offer it like right now. Um, but in general, your team will reflect your mindset, your approach, your attitude. What are you projecting? I like to give the example of we've been in organization or teams where sometimes the work to be delivered, what we have to achieve requires more than the working time. And you will see this difference. Sometimes people will say, no, I'm here from my paycheck and I've given the hour. So no, I'll not go the extra mile. But when the leader is inspiring, people don't count their hours. I've been in organization, I've worked with leaders where people can like 3 days, they've not gone home. It's true that the environment of a TV station is different, but people could stay for days because maybe there's this new thing that has to go live, this new app that has to be delivered. And why do people, you will never see people go this far if the leader is not inspiring. Your attitude will inspire people to follow or to check out. So, looking at your team, are you inspiring people or causing them to freak, to be afraid? Judith, come back to the slide. So it is important to watch your attitude because it influences the morale of the team and the performance, because people want to follow an inspiring leader, and a positive attitude always makes a difference in good and bad times. So it's maybe time for reflection already, because this is the concept. Attitude is important, has this impact on you and your team and the organization. Now I would like to bring it down to you, like now. How is your attitude influencing your team? This is the portion I really like, where we turn the concepts into the reality. What's your reality? If you stop and looked at your team from outside, if this was a movie on Netflix or Prime that you were watching at the way you're being with your team, what would you say is the influence you are having on your team? What would you say your attitude is inspiring your team to do? Just stop and reflect. And sometimes, to be honest, we don't have to reflect long. We know. We know. Now, are we courageous to face? And okay, I tend to see. But it's something that is so true. I think a couple weeks ago when we talked about trust as the foundation, I gave the example that so many times I will see leaders coming to coaching and saying, oh, Judy, let's work together so that my team can trust me more. They don't trust me. They keep things away from me. They're finger pointing again. And when we drill down, are you trusting the team? Silence, reflection, hesitation, and finally we will land on the place. Not really. Okay. It's just trickling down what you are showcasing, who you are being. You are not trusting. Why would they trust you if they are not feeling or seeing that trust from you? Your team will reflect your mindset. So again, look at your team. What are you noticing? What are you noticing? What are you know? What feedback your team can give you? And if you notice that there are some negative things, it's good. Don't feel bad. It's good. Now you have feedback on what is going on. I give the example of trust. It could be something else. There might be a lot of conflicts or bringing people down, or like you are in a hunger game where people don't trust each other. It's good that you know, okay, this is what is going on in my team. Now, observing you, what's your reality and what is causing you to be that person, that leader who lacks trust? What is happening in you? What is triggering you? Judith, calm down. Even if you don't finish the slide. You'll go as far as you can. So, if you notice something negative, kind of a negative attitude that you have as a leader, what is triggering you to have that negative attitude? This is a very good question, actually, because it will cause you to reflect what's causing me to show the lack of trust? What is causing me to bring people down? What is causing me to be afraid of completely opening up? What is causing me? And as you work on what you will identify as trigger, hey, you will change and you will transform and you will be different, a more positive attitude kind of leader. But it really takes that you do that reflection. If you look the question, how does your team reflect your mindset? And then you see something that you don't really like. And then you see that on you in your own behavior. What is causing you to have that behavior? And then the next thing, what can you do about that? Rather than being this negative person, who would you rather be? In couple slides, John proposed some great things to shift the mindset from negative attitude to a positive attitude. We'll talk some more about that in a couple minutes. I still want to offer this last question. So, when you identify your triggers, in general, what is your strategy to maintain a positive attitude in face of challenges? We have said that keeping a positive um, keeping a positive attitude, especially when times are hard, makes a difference. It's so important. Um, so, what is your strategy to do that? Just pause for a minute and reflect on that. Sometimes we don't have time to reflect, so I'm giving you a couple minutes to do that. Reflect. Has there been a case of crisis, challenge, or difficult time, and you showed up positive? If yes, what impact? What did you do? What did you do? How you show up, especially during times of crisis, we have seen that will impact your people. And I think it's also why they put it as an important component of executive presence, your ability to keep the poise in the midst of the fire. This is such an important character. And that's why when they say, oh, this person has presence, this person has your ability to stay zen. So what do you do? Some people will lean I've worked with various kind of leaders that have various strategies. That's why I don't want to recommend you this. You know you, and that's the power. That's why I like coaching, because in a coaching context, okay, in general, let's go and explore. Has something like this happened? What did you do? How did you show up? What learning? What caused you to show up positive? And as we do that exploration, you will find the recipe that could be working for you. Some will use mindfulness, some will their goal, their why, their purpose, some like their heart for their team. People are different. My invitation is for you to do the reflection. What is your strategy to maintain a positive attitude as a leader in difficult times? Don't overcomplicate things. In your family, I don't have a big team. I'm just leading one person. Great. In your family, when times are tough, what's your strategy to keep positive? Imagine you're traveling with this family we are talking about, and then there's a lot of instability or there's fear or you're losing things. Imagine showing up as the parent, everything will be fine. This is one attitude, or panicking. Which one will help your kids or people looking up to you? Positive, the calm. So, what is your strategy to have this calm and poise and compose in difficult times? People are looking at you, people are observing, and being able to keep that calm is something that will help you through. So maybe it's time for you, Judy, to start and share some of the tactics that John suggests could be used to really help changing your mindset If you've done the reflection as I invited you to do a couple minutes ago, um, what's the team? What reflect are you seeing from your team? From that reflection, if you saw negative things, I suggest you reflect on what is triggering you to have that negative attitude. And I don't know what came up for you. These are some things that John suggests could help you to switch from the negative to a more positive attitude, which will impact your people, keep them motivated and engaged. So if you've noticed that your team is a team that complains, where people complain too much, or there's a lot of um negativity spreading, people talk in meetings, in email, we don't, there's no, like, the negation is too much in your exchanges, how about choosing to be the one who talks solution, the one who will be the positive one in the meeting, the one who chooses to look for and talk and amplify the solution, not the challenge. And I think was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago, when we talked about one way to really accelerate your leadership lead is solve problems. We said effective leaders, they like live in the land of possibility, in the land of, they turn difficult things into opportunity. What's the opportunity here? So they don't talk, they don't stop at the obstacle. What can be done? They proactively, what can be done to remove the obstacle. So if you've done the reflection and you notice that your team, so you tend to have more a culture of complaints, look for the solution. If you've noticed that your team, your organization has a culture where people are very emotional and they react just with emotions, negative emotions, hey, respond with intention. I love this one so much. Do you see the verbs? Do you see the words? On one side, the reaction. So you're just kind of a reactive, like it's like without control. A response is more deliberate. So instead of just boom, reacting like in chemistry, where you just put two elements, boom, and the reaction happens like without control. In response, it's so deliberate. And then the other word that he adds is intention. Deliberate choice to be intentional on how you respond. It's a response, not a reaction, a response with intention. So if your team, there's a lot of emotional reaction, observe how you and are you responding, not reacting with intention? Are you showing up, choosing to respond the way you want, to instill the culture, the behaviors that you want to be the identity of your team? If it's a team thing, it starts with you. So how much are you responding with, how much are you getting intentional? Um, if the reflection brought you to a place where there's a lot of blame game, oh my god, victim, they did this, we couldn't deliver on time, we couldn't do this because that happened, we couldn't get the numbers, couldn't achieve the goal, there's always because, and in general because it's external. I don't know if I shared this example before, but we tend to say they're finger pointing at someone, another team, another organization, another stakeholder, another partner. But have you noticed that as you're sending one finger in front, at least three of them are coming back to you? So more than half, 3/5, or maybe this other one, like more than three are pointing towards you, which is like makes me think if you focus on changing three, and three is you, which portion of this is my responsibility? On the dynamics, on not getting the numbers right, on things not going well with that other team, on the collaboration, what am I contributing to this dynamic? And I can assure you, as you focus on the three portion that are your responsibility, you will switch things around. As you focus on changing you, on improving you, on responding intentionally differently, hey, you will notice a change in dynamics. And I see this so many times coaching. Yeah. They don't respect me. A lot of people, they just come and dump things at me. They just everyone. Okay. What do you think you're doing? Well, I don't know. And then the conversation will evolve. And then there's my peer, this other, like they also came and gave the thing. If they were in your situation, would they take no? What's that telling you about you? Well, it's what I'm talking about. Actually, they just there. What are you doing? You're not protecting your boundaries. So as this person, as this leader, oh yeah, I'm not saying no. I'm not walking on my way to protect, to prioritize. Well, that's the portion that belongs to you. Safe is the same thing. I gave the example of boundaries. It could be work life balance. It could be, it's so easy to say, my manager doesn't like me. My manager, like the leadership, blah, blah, blah. You're still finger pointing. Which portion of the dynamics belong? My manager doesn't care about my development. He has done nothing, no discussion, no plan. Great. I'm sorry to hear that. It mustn't be, it's not cool. I'm sure you're not feeling so good having such a manager. Now I'm curious. Um, how much feedback have you given? Oh, feedback. He's supposed to. Whoa, okay. So, which portion are you contributing to this dynamic when they are not thinking, not having the discussion, not giving their feedback, just waiting to the last minute? I don't know, should it? Okay. When do you have one on ones with your leader? Yeah, no, every week or maybe like twice per month. Great. And at what point did you give the feedback or ask? Oh, I never did. I assume. Oh, did you say assume? So there's something under your power, something that belongs to you that you're not doing. And that's why, again, this illustration, when we are complaining, there's three that are looking at you, your own responsibility. And as you reflect and identify which part you contribute to the dynamic, and as you work on that, you doubt, just go and give it a try, even in relationships, family relation. Oh, it's tough with my teenager. I don't understand. That girl just wants to whoa, yeah, Judith, but what are you doing? What are you doing? How are you being with her? Yeah, but she's my daughter. She should listen. Yeah, she should. Which portion of it belongs to you? Are you loving? Are you understanding? Are you playing your part? Oh, well, yeah, I could be controlling. I could want to make decisions for her. So, Judith, work on you. And as I started to work on me, things change. Work on what am I doing? Okay, am I even understanding her personality? What am I doing to show her I care and that I respect her independence, which is something important for teenagers? Oh, and as you find something, you try, you notice, there's a change in dynamics. You focus on the three things that belong to you. That's why here I so much agree with John, what John suggests here. Instead of blaming circumstances, people, the other team, which portion belongs to you, there's no doubt. As you work on the portion that belongs to you, it will affect the dynamics. You doubt, give it a try. If you want, reach out, ask your question. I don't know from where you're watching this, Facebook, LinkedIn, directly from YouTube. If you doubt, let's just get in touch. As you focus on working, assuming, and taking responsibility for the portion that is yours, you will see the change. If you look around and you notice that the team tends to be the type of team where people avoid, like you run away, instead of running away from challenges, a positive leader, a better attitude is to see challenges as opportunity. So look at you. How are you reacting when there are challenges? Do you just run away or put your head in the sand? If you do that, the team will do that. And there are lots of leaders who do that. There's something delicate, or we just wrap around and behave as if it wasn't there. The elephant in the room is there, but nobody wants to address the elephant. The invitation is, okay, what opportunity do we have with this elephant? So you don't run away, you acknowledge the elephant, and then what can you do? What can you create? How can you leverage this powerful elephant for you and the team? Don't avoid, face, and look for what is possible. Look for what is possible. And then the last thing is the last example suggestion for John is from John. I got this, all of this again are from the book Developing the Leader in You. If you can, please get the book. It's a good book. I just took some parts to create a series. If you can get the book, read it and allow yourself to practice, to let it soak in and apply some of the learning from there. The last thing, sometimes you may notice that you or your team tend to be more in a comfort zone. Look at yourself. How are you demonstrating walking the talk and being a leader that talks growth, that is for growth, that promotes growth in their positions, in their writing? All the examples I gave in this slide are some things you may notice on the team. And we say the person who sets the tone is you, the leader. So I feel like letting this slide up again for you to look through which of the negative mindset are you noticing about you or your team. And if you notice it in your team, in your organization, if it's a team that you lead, you set the tone, you set the pace, like you set the temperature of the team. Is this the team you want to have? If it's not the case, on the right, you have some proposals on how to switch and change things around, guys, because your attitude will affect how your team shows up, will affect the level of inspiration, will affect the results of the team. It is so true. It is so true. So look around and listen. What are you noticing? What are you noticing? I'll give back this question again. What are you seeing in your team, and what is that saying about the leader of the team that you are? Is what you're seeing aligning with your ideal of a team or of you as a leader? If there are aspects, if there are some things for which you feel like, no, it's not really it, great. Instead of blaming, finger pointing, I don't know, they don't want to listen. How are you contributing to that dynamics? Be it a complainer, blame game, avoiding difficult. Are you someone who speaks positive? Are you someone who faces challenge? Are you someone who takes ownership? As it starts with you, you walk on you, they see it. They will follow the example. And by you doing it, you give the example, you give them the authorization to show up like that. And that's how you transform with your attitude, the attitude of your team. And if you are the positive one, I love all the parameters of the positive one. If you are the positive one who thinks solution, challenges, like we live in a world that's uncertainty, we ambiguity, change is something common. But if you have that reputation of being the leader who thinks solution, whose mindset is set on solution, who responds with intention, not some kind of reactive leader who just blow, but you are intentional responding, and then you take ownership for whatever is happening. You assume what is your responsibility, and when there are problems, challenges, crisis, hey, you talk to the team, you behave as an opportunity. You will see how it will affect the team. A little story here to illustrate that. um in a lot of organizations for a couple years now, from my industry, IT, there's been quite some change. There was the year where there was a lot of layoffs, Facebook and Amazon and all these big five. there was like the fear, what will happen? So as a leader in that industry, if your leadership had a meeting and say, okay, transformation, there were different names used for the massive layoff, but it came in different form. Now, if you just heard from leadership that it's time for your own organization, and then you start to talk as the leader I described a couple minutes ago, wow, it's happening. I don't understand. Our results were good. It can be really rough. This other sister company has laid off like thousands of people. I'm hearing the language of fear. And if this is how in the team meeting and town hall you're talking, you're just broadcasting fear. And a lot of people will get anxiety. Is that the leader you want to be? Transformation causes fear. So, and that's why the question I gave when we were having reflection time is to notice how you behave. What are the things that trigger you? What are the things that trigger you to switch into negative fear, freeze, or free? I've forgotten the right verb, but protective mode. Identifying those triggers and having a plan on how to tackle that will help you. It will help you show up as that leader you want to be, that has the right positive growing possibility. And what would that look like in the example I gave? Well, we don't have control on the economic environment. Okay, as a leadership decision, maybe there might be some changes. People may lose their job, and we want to ensure you have all the information. My focus as a leader is what is possible because change brings opportunity. This talk is different. You're acknowledging that what is happening can be challenging and causing a lot of anxiety, but you don't dwell and stress and amplify the anxiety. You choose to bring the focus, the attention of the team on what it could bring as possibility. Having that kind of talk will keep the talk positive, will keep the team thinking about hope. Um, when I was talking a couple minutes ago, world change, I may lose my job, this may happen. You see, the more I talk about that, is I just want to cover myself. It's this danger zone. So let's activate the hibernation strategy. But when I think and I talk, oh yeah, there's this happening, what is it? We don't have control. I acknowledge what is going on. Now I'm thinking, what could be the opportunity? Have you noticed that what could be? I did like this with my hand. Opportunity, curiosity, looking for what is possible is expansive. It opens up. It's not closing, shrinking, or hiding. And a leader who thinks what is possible, a leader who chooses to bring his attention and his teams around what is good, what is positive, what is possible, will be a leader that has the great attitude, the extra plus we are talking about today. Judith, you have like 10 minutes to go. It's time to think action. We talked about the importance of having that positive mindset. We gave some examples on how you do the switch. It's time now to like discuss concretely what you can do after this call to really apply this attitude thing. We did a little reflection time, and I want to invite you the three actions for this week. One, think about something recent, something that may be going on now, a challenge that you're facing, you and your team, and find a way to rephrase it in a positive perspective. Yeah. What is going on now that is challenging? And how can you reframe and talk about it with positive lenses? The second thing I propose you practice is gratitude, guys. Yeah, I know this is not Sunday where we take the time to reflect and think. It's not praise looks good on you. But I propose you try gratitude for 7 days and notice yourself the impact it has on you. Gratitude practice will build your muscles to think, look for what is good. And as you do that more and more, it's like you become expert at finding what is good. And it will show. It will show with your family, with people around you, because you have the habit of stopping to think, to look and ask and search what is good. You will develop that ability to see what is possible. So there will be places where people are like, oh, this is hard, it's rough. But because you have the muscle, you can ask the question, you can come from a place of curiosity and identify what is still possible, what is good, what is still working. That's why I'm proposing as action item number 2 this week. Just for the next 7 days, try. And if it's not helping, drop it. But please, if you can try every day for the next 7 days, think, stop, take some time on your day and reflect on what is good for you and for your team. And if you can, I don't know, the routines of your team, if you are kind of an IT agile team that does stand-ups dailies, bring a bit of that. What is good? The little progress of the team, the little tickets that were resolved, the little good meeting with stakeholder, the great feedback from leadership will go a long way that you don't imagine. And I've seen that again and again in coaching sessions and in real life. When a leader starts to, okay, it's hard. We don't see they're on tough project, time is passing. And how about just getting intentional to 5 minutes in the meeting to talk about what is good? People feel acknowledged, people feel seen. It brings up more positive note to meetings and it changes the culture from complaining or just talking about how it's hard, how the project is not moving forward, to actually noticing and acknowledging what is good. Action number 2. Number 3, I love this one. And because it allows you to practice two things in one. Last week we said leaders amplify their impact by developing people. Hey, you want to grow your ability to have a positive mindset. I want to invite you to go beyond you to invest in helping someone. Look around you. Is there someone that tends to have a negative attitude? Their perfume of negativity is well known. So, as a leader, what can you do intentionally to help that person move from this very negative place to a bit more positive outlook? Reflect, look around, select the person, and it'll be good to hear from you what you tried, what you noticed, and what was the impact. So, these are the 3 actions I propose for this week. And as you do that, you will practice your ability to really identify, to really be a leader that keeps a positive attitude, a positive attitude that will impact your leadership, a positive attitude that will trickle down to the culture of the team, a positive attitude that will make you be perceived as an inspiring leader, an inspiring leader who seeks, talks, takes the posture and chooses to be the positive one in the midst of anything. So, as you do that, you will implement what we learned this week. Coming up next week, we will be talking about servant leadership, how that's the greatest return for a leader, adding value to others. Um, Sometimes I'll hear people say, oh, well, this thing about servant leadership, not sure I understand. How can you be a leader while serving? If you're a person of faith, you know that Jesus served. He washed the feet of the disciples. It didn't change that he was the master. Actually, he thought that you want to be the leader self. What does that mean? How can you apply? What impact on your leadership? We will talk some more about how you can broaden your impact again by serving, by adding value. How are you adding value today? Maybe something to reflect on for next week, for this week, for the next 7 days. Please, I want you to reflect on what are you willing to do. There's been some kind of reflection throughout the live today where you were asked to think. Maybe I'll bring back the question. Looking at your team, what are you seeing? Looking at your organization, what culture, what are you seeing? And from what you are seeing, what is one thing that you want to change in you to impact that thing that you have seen? Complaining, negativity, emotional reactivity. You know you. You know your reality. My invitation is for you to think about one thing, in all this development, goal achievement, mini steps. It doesn't have to be a big thing. What is a small thing you want to try in your attitude to show up as a more positive leader? I think if it may help, Judy, you were able to pitch it fast. Great. So we have a couple minutes left. I'll bring back like the slides to show you some examples, some suggestions. May not be exactly what you need, but which of these are you willing to give a try this week? To implement, to be on the street of positive, to be a leader that's acting, that has a positive attitude. Solution, responding, not reacting, intention, not just emotional reaction, owning, taking responsibility, not finger pointing, or not running away from challenges, facing and looking for the opportunity, thinking about the growth opportunity, not choosing to stay in the comfortable zone. It's what I had planned for us today. Your questions, your comments are so welcome. I continue to say thank you to my people in India. I also saw some people now from Europe. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. If you have questions, please let me know. We want to help bring out the leader in you, and we said 2025 is that year to bring out the superhero, and particularly in this series, the super leader in you. So, if there's anything we can do in terms of content, in terms of format, in terms of, let us know. As I said, in about 4 weeks, the series will be over. And your feedback can let me know which direction, what aspect, what way to go with this. I hope it was useful. I can't wait to hear from you. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. If you know someone who might benefit from this content, share it freely. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Let me know what else I could do to help bring out that super leader in you. It was Judith Glory. It was a pleasure sharing this moment with you. And yeah, before going, if something you follow the series and something has changed in your leadership, you've received feedback, hey, you want to come and share how it has been for you on the channel to motivate, inspire other people, you are welcome. Just get in touch. It's in 4 weeks now, so we still have 4 weeks. And if you have questions, I'm insisting on questions because I get a lot of questions from LinkedIn, yeah, and from leaders in technology. Hey, bring your questions here because it's easy for me to answer them live like this. In LinkedIn, there's so much, and I don't take all of them in LinkedIn. If you can join, if you watch a replay, even below the video, you can ask your question and it will be a pleasure answering and putting at contribution all my network, not just me, all the resources from the John Maxwell team and from other leaders. It has been a pleasure sharing this moment with you. Looking forward to connect next week, 10 EST in French and 12 EST in English. Until next time, take care. Choose to be the positive one. Choose the attitude that will inspire and motivate your people. Bye.